can't go back into that 2-3 zone off of the turnover or a missed shot. So getting some quick looks.
Garland again in the mid-range. Darius Garland up to 11 points. Here's Black. 4 to shoot. Black able to create separation and finish. See, a couple times you nod your head like what you're seeing from Anthony Black.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, his pace, his poise, his ability to use his body.
He's a 6th pick a year ago in his 2nd season. Caldwell Pope serves it in. His first field goal attempt of the game. Makes it an 11-point contest. Caldwell Pope signing a 3-year, $66 million deal this offseason. Wagner nearly another steal. Jerome into 3. Here comes Black. Jerome pumps it away. Ty Jerome able to reverse it in off the steal. Wagner double comes. Jerome just snatches it away. Wow. Ty Jerome, big minutes. Garland a 3. You bet.
That is how quickly it can turn.
Garland with 12 in the quarter. And another turnover from Orlando. Garland probing. 2-for-1 opportunity for Cleveland. Garland weaving, dishing. Mobley can't hit. Allen the O'Born finds the cutter. Mobley lays it in. Puts the foul.
His second, first and last 2 minutes.
Getting it done on the defensive end. Great offensive rebound. Second opportunity. And Mobley makes himself available. Able to finish it with the and one.
Number 35, Isaac Okoro.
You can't have empty possessions, and everyone matters. And when you're playing a team that is playing a lead on both ends of the floor, like the Cleveland Cavaliers are, giving them free opportunities by being careless with the basketball, they make you pay.
Yeah, 3 straight turnovers springs an 8-0 Cavs run. They now have their largest lead. It's 19 with a 1-second difference game and shot clock. Cleveland's only needed Donovan Mitchell to play 13 minutes in this first half. Mo Wagner flips it up and off. Still time for Cleveland. Mobley pushing, taking. Can't hit. That'll do it for the first half. Coming up on the Hyundai halftime report, Mitchell and Mobley overpowering the Magic. Malika, Bob, and Kirk will have the Hyundai halftime report for you. The Cavs, a 63-44 lead at the half, looking to improve to 6-0. And we send things over to Angel Gray.
Donovan, you often talk about how this team and the ball has to have energy on the offensive end. 8-0 run for you guys to end that quarter. What did you like in that spurt?
We got stops. The game got kind of slow, fouls and whatnot. But for us, we got stops and able to execute out of that and blow a lead from 11 to about 18, 19. That's what our goal is. Continue to defend throughout, mistakes and whatnot, and throughout the nuances of the game. And it's a great way to end the half.
You had 11 points in 4 minutes. You finished the half with 17. What has led to your early success?
I'm just trying to pick my spots. Like I said, last game setting the tone. Some nights going to be scoring, some nights going to be passing, but tonight it was just trying to set the tone and kind of get me where I wanted, and got to do for 2 halves.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Donovan Angel, thank you very much. The Cavs, a 19-point lead at the half, looking to improve to 6-0. Donovan Mitchell, 17 points in 13 minutes. Hyundai halftime report led by Malika up next.
This got out of hand quickly for Toronto. This got out of hand.
They're struggling with the injuries. The Lakers are playing great so far. A couple hiccups, but they have the potential and they're healthy. And this guy can still.
You know, LeBron runs Toronto. That's his state.
We'll be back in 60 seconds. Yeah, LeBron too.
Yeah, that part.
You know that.
Cavaliers, they are rolling up 19 on the Orlando Magic at halftime, looking to improve to 6-0 on the season. Bob, you were overseeing a team that started out 24-0 back in 2015 with the Golden State Warriors. At what point, we'll get to the X's and O's, but at what point do you walk on the floor kind of like, no, this is who we are. We expect to win now.
I had a game one time, an opposing GM was sitting next to me, Balika, and the game ended, we won. And he said, congratulations. And I said, for what? He said, you guys won the game. I said, oh, yeah. So you do get to a point where it becomes expected, but we didn't win the championship that year, but we did go 73-9.
Right, but you sometimes have to start guarding against that because the Cavaliers, they could look up if this keeps rolling and they have the Milwaukee Bucks the next two games, they could really keep this going. Let's key in on some specifics, though. What has impressed you most and what are you looking at in the second half here with Cleveland?
Well, one, they got the number one offense in the NBA because they're pushing the pace. But again, it's Evan Mobley for me, right? I think he's going to be the one. If he continues to play like this on both ends, that's going to move the needle. You see this quick hitter, quick pick and pop, shooting 50% from the three. Same next possession on the defensive end, sliding those puppies, getting the strip. Like, he's that impactful on both ends of the floor. He's the one that's going to move the needle for them.
And this is where coaching's interesting because this isn't just happening. Kenny Atkinson said, I'm going to get Mobley more involved. JJ Redick said, I'm going to get Anthony Davis more involved. So this isn't just, oh my gosh, this is coaching. They decided, they saw an angle, and they're taking advantage of it.
Real quick, on the other side of this, the Magic, obviously, they're shorthanded. It's really tough to be stacking up the wins without Paolo Banchero. How can they get back in this?
Well, I mean, it's going to be hard. Again, they got to get scrappy, right? They got to junk up the game, make sure they pass up good shots to get great shots and try to do it collectively. But they got to learn to play without him. That's it, really. And it's not going to happen tonight.
Well, we also need to check in on the Boston Celtics because anytime we talk about an undefeated Cavaliers team, everyone knows that it's the Celtics who you're keeping pace with in the Eastern Conference. But Charlotte, Bob, is doing a nice job here tonight.
They've won some games so far. Everybody gets up, play the champs. That guy, LaMelo Ball, he's a talented player. And Charlotte's going to keep it. Looks like they're keeping it close. So, but this Celtics team, they toy with people.
They are keeping it close. And Charles Lee was on the coaching staff of Joe Mazzulla last year. Now he's on the sidelines here for the Hornets, and he knows that move very well.
Yeah, and look, Jaylen Brown, he had a horrible game last game against the Pacers. He took accountability and looked like he playing with the right mindset and passion.
The next game of our doubleheader
that's
here,
what I want to see.
the Nuggets taking on the Timberwolves. You want to see Jamal Murray, right?
Yeah, I want to see it.
That's what you've been talking about.
Those two dogs on the other end waiting on them, and that's one of them.
Kirk, how do guys decide what that's comfortable to me? Some of these outfits, they look nice. T-shirt, a hoodie.
Yeah, they cozy, they comfortable, Bob. It's better than what we had to do, wear suits.
This halftime is presented by the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit HyundaiUSA.com.
The Octagon.
Welcome back to NBA Halftime, presented by Hyundai.
Nikola Jokic coming off that 29-point, 18 rebounds, 16 assist game versus the Nets. What does he have in store for Anthony Edwards and company? All right, let's take a look at tonight's electric moment. It's brought to us by Hyundai. I had to look and see if the Knicks-Pistons game was a real score earlier.
Yeah, well, it's down to 25, Malika. The Pistons are clawing back. Or what is that, 20? Yeah, I think that's right.
Clawing back to do what?
Well, they're just trying to get it to be respectable, Perk. It was 30 or 40 in the first half.
Nice bucket there by Jalen Brunson, who had 26 points in the first half of this one. You were saying you wanted to see it from Darius Garland. Here he is.
Well,
no look pass.
Some players, Malika, the less they have to do, the more efficient they are. It looks like he is.
Second half coming up after this.
Timeout presented by Hungry Jack's. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. We're here in Cleveland, and what a beautiful basketball city this is, particularly when the team is cooking on the floor. But it's especially nice as an Australian. Even still today, multiple Matthew Dellavedova jerseys in the crowd. And it did have me thinking about Dally's path to the NBA and different ways guys can get to the league right now. And when Dally entered the NBA, two-way contracts weren't a thing, but now a teammate at Melbourne United, Luke Travers, is on a two-way contract, and I asked head coach Kenny Atkinson how he plans on managing the two-way players, and he said, we know that whether it's 4, 5, 6 games, we expect those guys to impact that amount of wins. They're considering decisions on the daily. Do we take them to Milwaukee tonight to have the experience on the road? So he said sooner rather than later, Luke Travers and the two-way players are going to be required for Cleveland. We'll see whether he gets his first minutes today. Enjoy the second half.
The Cavs looking to improve to 6-0 with a 19-point lead on the Magic. As we welcome you courtside once again, Ryan Rugo alongside the brand new head coach of the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White. So happy to be with you. Coach, you talked about the pace of the Cavs, the way they've been playing under Kenny Atkinson to begin the season. We saw it on display in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. They get such easy shots, easy looks in transition, whether it's off of a make, off of a miss. You put so much pressure on the defense when you have long outlets, when you look to pass the ball up the floor instead of dribbling up the floor. You see how quickly multiple players touching the ball, attacking the rim, you're automatically in rotation. You get an easy two. And then off of long shots, long rebounds. Again, how quickly the ball is passed ahead. Nobody back on defense, able to get an easy two. They're shooting at a 62% clip on the season in transition because of plays like that.
Ending the first quarter on a 10-0 run, ended the second quarter on an 8-0 run, and all 8 were off of Cavs turnovers, 3 straight Magic turnovers, 3 straight turnovers to end the half from Orlando. Well, you see the way Magic struggled shooting the basketball, 4 for 16 from 3, although a glimmer of hope for them as they've started 0 for 10. First game for the Magic without Paolo Banchero after being diagnosed with that torn oblique. Franz Wagner spins into the leg. 10 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds for Wagner. Just signed a 5-year, $224 million extension this offseason. Mitchell totally dialed in. Now has 20 points in 13 minutes.
Just whenever he wants to, right? I mean, he's out there, he facilitates, he gets everybody else involved, but whenever he wants to just get a shot, he can create it.
Black gives it up. Mo Wagner dumps it in. Mo Wagner getting the start at the 5 today with Wendell Carter Jr. out with knee tendonitis. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell giving it up. Allen shovels it away. Cavs turn it over for 8th time. Suggs off the Black into the corner. Caldwell Pope didn't take the 3. Now will. Can't hit. Franz Wagner the rebound, keeping the possession alive for Orlando. Suggs. It's fouled by Garland. That'll be the second personal on Darius Garland. Jalen Suggs takes the hit. Suggs has improved his three-point shooting dramatically. First 2 years shot at just 27%. His first year in the league, he was last in the NBA, 21%. Then last year up to 39.7%, and this year at 42.5%.
Well, it's so important. You have to be a threat from the three-point line when you're on the floor. And Jalen Suggs does so many good things for this ball club. And now his ability to stretch the D, they've got to play him honest.
Wagner not able to finish on the lay. Here's Mobley. Allen, he's really attacked the offensive glass with force. Suggs to the corner. Black's 3. Welcome. Garland had a big second quarter. Allen yet to score in this game. Had a big game the other night against the Lakers. Now he's scoring. Kenny Atkinson was so high on Jared Allen in the draft process when he was head coach of the Nets, and when the Nets drafted him. I can remember being in a meeting with Kenny during Jared's rookie year, where he told me he believed Jared Allen was going to ascend to a top 10 center in this league. And now, Kenny says, hey, I don't know, maybe there's even a higher elite tier for Jared to crack into. He's that good.
He's also the ultimate glue guy. You know, he does everything that you need, makes all the right plays, and he gives you versatility on the defensive end of the floor. He puts pressure on the defense with his hard rolls to the rim. He makes the hustle plays. You know, Kenny Atkinson talked about just his improvement in decision-making, his pivoting, his passing, and you can see it right there.
He was the one who those guys got their start under, Allen and LeVert, and they really blossomed into key contributors, and now Kenny reunited with them a few years later after they both had been traded here in the James Harden deal. And Garland misses a 3. I was just talking to Karras briefly at halftime, and he was saying the energy that Kenny has brought has just been incredible for the entire group.
Sometimes that's all it takes, right? A change in energy.
Slips that in.
A shift in mindset, attention to detail, tweaks in how you're playing.
Because one of the things Kenny Atkinson emphasized to us multiple times as a nod, I believe, to J.B. Bickerstaff was, look, I didn't come in and change a whole lot. You know, there was a lot of good things here. This wasn't a situation where you say, well, we have to rip it up. No, you're just looking to make little tweaks, little changes.
the emphasis on the details, the spacing, the timing, the movement, who you're playing through and when.
Kenny Atkinson was a player development guru with the Knicks and Atlanta, and drew the Nets in at a time where they had no assets when it came to the draft. They needed to develop players, and Kenny Atkinson did an unbelievable job developing talent, creating a team that went to the playoffs. D'Angelo Russell and Spencer Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and then after being let go by the Nets, became a really relied upon assistant in this league. At Golden State, won a championship, almost became the head coach of the Hornets, and then backed away and found the perfect opportunity here in Cleveland. Garland off on a three. Here's Wagner. Bustling in, gets the foul, and Mo Wagner will shoot two. 70-48 lead for the Cavs as Orlando navigates this game without Paolo Banchero, as they will for at least the next 6 weeks. That torn oblique. Paolo in the building. Taking a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. NBA TV Saturday, Mexico City game 2024. Miami and Washington. NBA TV Monday, Milwaukee and Cleveland, Philly and Phoenix. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. And Milwaukee has gotten off to a tough start this year, and then have the Cavs waiting for them Monday. First time they've been 1-4 since Giannis broke onto the scene for them.
Well, it's certainly something you can't quite put your finger on. Not having Chris Middleton, I think he's big. That's a guy, talking about another glue guy, not only his ability to knock down shots, but his presence on the floor, his calming influence on the floor. And this is just a good heads-up play in the defensive end, which we've seen time and time again from Jalen Suggs.
Yeah.
Allowing the Magic to get out in transition. They've had success when they've been able to get out in transition and get 2 feet in the paint.
Jamal Mosley was talking before the game. He said, I talk with Jalen Suggs all the time about your presence on the floor is powerful. You're the one who has to keep us poised. Our team often goes as you go. It's called Suggs a pit bull defensively.
He sure is.
Yeah. Was all defensive team last year. Caldwell Pope unable to lay it in, but draws the whistle. Kentavious Caldwell Pope will shoot two.
Yeah, and Ryan, we've talked a lot about what you miss when you don't have Paolo Banchero on the floor. But what you gain is you get other guys who get stepped up and get minutes, get in the rotation, get opportunity that they may not have had before in the rotation. And that's something. Well, you can't be short-sighted about it, right? You got to think the long game, that build quality depth when you get to the time when you're playing in the playoffs, to get guys some confidence in rotation as well. And you look at it as an opportunity. And that's one of the things Jamal Mosley was talking about. He said, look, it's tough. Nobody wants this to happen, but it gives another guy an opportunity to step up and show us what he's got.
All right, and Anthony Black, who all of a sudden is going to play more minutes. Maybe it serves you down the road. This is infection control. That's why we have the breather here. And especially for a team, if you feel like your playoff positioning is not in peril,
yes,
right? Can serve a purpose down the road. All square with infection control. Kentavious Caldwell Pope will go to the line. Magic also needed more shooting, and hope they've gotten that in Caldwell Pope, who has shot it 40% from three since the 2021 season. Also has won a couple of championships and has developed as a vocal leader as well. I remember talking to Michael Malone last year, and he said, there are times we come over with the huddle and Caldwell Pope, and you see how impressive those three-point numbers are. he's already gathered the group. He's communicating. He said, look, I don't think if you talk to a lot of people in Detroit, they saw that coming for Contavious early on in his career. But he's just developed into that kind of veteran in this league.
It's important to bring a veteran presence to this young core of the Orlando Magic, but not someone who's going to stifle the growth and leadership for Franz Wagner, for Paolo Banchero, the centerpieces that you're building around.
The right kind of veteran. Garland get back in transition for that block.
Oh, look at this, heck of a play, able to stay elevated and get a hand on that.
Hang and get it on the way down. LeVert into the game, Sam Merrill as well. As Garland will check out. Evan Mobley also out. Magic on a little 7-0 run. They're also already in the bonus. See if they can take advantage in this third. Not that time, an offensive foul called on Suggs. That is his second personal.
The Magic like to run this little flex action out of the baseline, out of bounds, and you see Suggs just the hip check.
Here's Merrill. Off to Allen. Mitchell. Cutting through, flipping up, doesn't get the roll. Gets a fingertip on it, and it goes out of bounds to Orlando. Timeout on the floor. Orlando on a little run. It's the Cavs still by 15.
Changes in the air. It's a new era. New team-ups. New stages set. Whose time is it? We'll see. This isn't last season. Nah. Puts up a three-pointer. This time is different.
This is Sports Center with SBP.
We welcome you to the nation's capital
with the latest highlights.
Oh, come on. An astounding catch. And that little spark you got a hold of some cotton candy? Cotton candy and drinking. Kind of the same.
Interviews.
Terry McLaurin in studio with us. There's nobody in the world playing better golf than Bryson DeChambeau.
Friday's NBA doubleheader on ESPN. It's a good one. 7:30. The Suns and the Mavs renew their acquaintances, and then it's the Sixers in LA to face LeBron James and the Lakers. The King only averaging 21, 6, and 6 to begin the year. You know,
That's insane what he's doing.
It really is. Like, we take it for granted,
We
right?
do take it for granted. And again, you think about, we were just talking about Jokic's numbers and just how incredible they are with what LeBron James is doing. And and JJ Redick said it, it's insane.
Yeah, exactly. Lakers are off to a good start under JJ as Suggs can't bank it in, but a foul underneath on Mitchell. Remember, Orlando's in the bonus. So De Silva will go to the line here. And that is going to be number 4 on Donovan Mitchell. You saw him holding up the 4 fingers. That was because he's well aware of his foul trouble. Picked up those 4 fouls in just 19 minutes as well. Silva misses the free throw. Garland going to come in for Mitchell. Been impressive thus far, the Cavs' distribution of minutes to begin this season. Mitchell averaging just 30, Garland 27, Mobley 29, Jared Allen under 29.
Well, yeah, building depth, trusting that depth, and Angel mentioned it in the first half, just the connectedness of this group and the trust in one another, and you can see it. And it starts from Kenny Atkinson continuing to stick to his rotation and allowing guys to get opportunities.
In the corner, Wade can't hit the 3, but gets fouled by De Silva. Dean Wade will shoot 3 free throws, looking to end what's an 8-0 Magic run.
His first team's third. The Cavaliers with 3 shots.
Yeah, just a late closeout and the jump out. Those are the ones that coaches then put your hands on top of your head.
Spoken from experience.
Yes, yes.
I know there's got to be a player that comes to mind when you think about those closeout fouls. I'm not going to put you on the spot to call her out, but there's got to be one. There's always there's always an over-eager closer outer.
Spoken like someone who maybe covered a few games.
Exactly.
Well, there's a fine line between the extra effort and the discipline that you have to have, right? And
here's Suggs. Pull-up jumper is good. Jalen Suggs working the mid-range. 10 points for Suggs. Garland around and off. Allen at position on De Silva, who's called for the foul, is second.
Magic foul number 23, Tristan De Silva. His second.
Well, this is Suggs right here, just showing off the handle, getting to his spot, elevating, knocking it down. Again, we think about this Orlando Magic team and their ability to get in the paint, and they've had success there, but without consistently knocking down threes. You know, in today's NBA, you've got to be able to do that, putting a lot of pressure on your defense to be perfect against one of the premier offensive teams in the NBA.
Suggs in the mid-range, knocks down another. LeVert, by the way, now up to 10 points in 13 minutes off the bench for Cleveland. Here's LeVert, driving it, the pull-up rolls off. Strong rebound from Wagner. They're going to wrestle it away from Wade. Suggs knocked away by Garland, closed that down quickly, looked like a cornerback, knocking away a pass.
Jalen Suggs again in the ISO. May have gotten away with a little extension right there.
Little separation. Here's Gary Harris, the veteran floater, rims out. Allen has the rebound, knocked away momentarily, got it back. 9 boards for Jared Allen now. Garland, he got it out of 3.
And again, this pace, right? You miss an easy one. Teams make you pay on the other end. Get it out, knock down a big 3.
19 now for Garland. He had just 2 in the first quarter. Suggs bodying inside, couldn't curl it in, but the follow is good. .15-point Cavs lead. Here's Garland. Shovels underneath. Levert misses the lay. Allen got a hand on it. Scraping it alive. Levert down with it too. Suggs comes up with it. Good effort from Suggs. Bo Wagner gets hacked by Garland. His third, and Wagner is going to shoot two.
Multiple guys on the floor. Great hustle play by both teams. Getting after it. Jalen Suggs, no surprise, coming away with it. And allowing Orlando to get out on the break.
You see that pitbull defensive mentality that Jamal Mosley talks about with Jalen Suggs. How many disruptive things he's done tonight defensively, and Wagner misses the free throw. George Niang back into the game for Cleveland. Wagner 2 for 4 from the line. Orlando is 8 for 13. Last year they were 26th in free throw percentage. Early on this year, they're 21st. Wagner misses both. Levert the lob. Allen couldn't get to it. Into the corner. Caldwell Pope. He got it on a three.
And you mentioned Caldwell Pope's three-point shooting percentages. Has not shot it well for the Magic up until this season, up until this point in the season. But he knocks down one right there. Be great to get him going.
Was just 4 for 24 into today.
Really do, and they've shown moments of this throughout the course of this ball game. You see Jalen Suggs, you mentioned the pit bull, but also smart on the defensive end. He's beat on the play, the veer switch, then able to get into transition. And multiple hustle plays on the defensive end, but it's going to take stringing more of them together.
Magic follow number 14, Gary Harris. They have taken what was a 22-point deficit and whittled it down to 12. You see the numbers for Suggs. He, too, got a nice extension this offseason. 5 years, $150.5 million. Front-loaded the deal as well to try and help Orlando on the back end. And we mentioned it before, you know, Jeff Weltman, the president of basketball ops, drafted this talent, put it together. You think about Bencaro, Suggs, Franz Wagner, all under control for the long term. Then you do have cap space, you do have draft picks. They're a franchise that's well positioned to capitalize on their young core.
And they've been very intentional with how they're building around their young stars, who they're bringing into the environment, who they're bringing into the franchise.
A whistle, that'll count. Suggs a chance for three as he banks that home through the contact.
And Ryan, you think about what's happened in this ball game. That pace is slowed way down, right? And Orlando has done a really good job. They got in the penalty early in the third. They've done a really good job of continuing to attack, get to the free throw line. It's a lot harder to run when you're coming off of the free throw line, right, in transition. And they've mucked it up a little bit on the defensive end of the floor, not allowing the free-flowing offense for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You know, I'm glad you bring that up because it's something I think about with your first-round playoff series this year as head coach of the Connecticut Sun. You guys play a slow style, right? To get in the mud. The Fever, the team you're now going to be coaching, but you were coaching against, they like to play fast. I mean, how intentional is it when you're a team who does better with a slow pace to try and slow down a fast team? How do you go about doing it?
You have to be. Well, first, it's physicality. You know, you got to be physical. You can't allow the flow in transition, the rhythm in the quarter-court offense. So you got to be physical. No easy cuts, right? No easy actions. And then you got to be aggressive on the offensive end. You got to get yourself to the free throw line. You can't let them get the ball out, whether it's a made shot, missed shot, and get out in transition. So you got to be really disciplined and intentional on both ends.
Had a chance to cut it to single digits there, could not. Jerome gets fouled hard by Caldwell Pope. Ty Jerome will shoot two.
And even plays like that, a foul in transition versus a layup in transition, right? You're slowing down the momentum. You're not allowing an easy one where you can get kind of juiced up, right? You get an easy bucket and then you turn around and you're pressing on the defensive end of the floor right here. You're stoppage and play, send them to the free throw line, continuing to slow the game.
Even what Jamal Mosley had said to Angel at the end of the first quarter when he was talking about their defense, he said, we've taken too many long shots at the other end, long misses that have sprung Cleveland's pace. Orlando's been a little more intentional about that aggression, getting to the rim here in the third, getting to the line. Cavs still lead by 13. Jerome with 9 points and 10 minutes off the bench. Mitchell has been on the bench for a while after picking up his fourth foul. Again, Howard knocks down a three. And it's a 10-point game.
We've seen the zone sprinkled in by the Cavs in certain situations. And the Magic, great job of moving the ball and getting an open one. But the answer by Merrill.
That's what he does. Big three there from Sam Merrill. Suggs plods in, kicks out. Isaac's three is good.
Chip away, right? One bucket at a time, one play at a time.
Last year, Isaac actually shot it at 37.5%. And LeVert, he has been on a 6-game scorcher to begin this season. 2 for 4 from deep tonight. And around 60% on this young season. And a foul on the pass. With Cleveland over the limit. That's going to be free throws for Orlando.
Well, Jalen Suggs has been much more assertive on the offensive end, attacking the paint.
Does Niang get the arm of Suggs on the pass?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, more infection control. I mean, a lot of blood in this game.
There has been.
I get
A little bit of physicality, I
just
suppose.
listening to you about the physicality and how to slow it down. Coming up next on ESPN, the Minnesota Timberwolves host the Denver Nuggets at Target Center in Minneapolis. And Edwards, Nikola Jokic. That game follows our game here on ESPN. The cut men are being put to the test here.
They sure are.
In this game. At the end of each round, someone getting patched up.
I think Jalen Suggs has been involved with quite a few of them.
Yeah, I agree. Scabs forming by the fourth quarter for Jalen Suggs. Orlando, meanwhile, shooting their 11th and 12th free throw attempts of the quarter. You know, one thing that the Magic have done offensively, and we'll see how it changes with no Paolo, but to begin this season, they've been getting up way more three-point attempts. Modest when it comes to percentage, 17th in the league. That's an improvement from last year when they were 24th. But last year, they were 29th in three-point attempts and 30th in three-point makes. This year, 6th in attempts, 8th in makes, heading into tonight.
Well, and it's going to be an important growth area for them. You know, certainly when you think about who you're competing with in the East, it's the Boston Celtics,
right.
And they're taking a lot of threes and making a lot of threes, and you can't trade your twos for their threes.
Joe Mazzulla won't be outmatched.
No, he certainly won't.
How about that off the window? Boy, we've seen Mobley a few times tonight, just so comfortable from all angles. 14 now for Mobley. He's 6 of 9. Isaac stepped out of bounds. Orlando gets it away.
Evan Mobley just makes himself available and using that length and shooting it with such great touch off the glass.
Merrill's three. He got it! 6th assist for LeVert.
You got to guard all 5 guys, right? You got to guard all 5 of them. The continuity, the movement, the spacing, creating opportunities for one another, sharing the basketball.
Just like that, it's back to 16. Here's Howard. Howard lays it up and off. Long rebound, 2-for-1 opportunity for Cleveland. Jerome, LeVert to the corner, Niang. And a whistle against LeVert. Not a smart foul there as Orlando's in the bonus, so free throws for Suggs.
And again, the unselfishness. Karis LeVert draws up secondary defender. You know that's the shot that Niang wants right there, that corner 3.
Niang has gotten off to a good start shooting the basketball this season, 37% from 3. Suggs hits the first. Also, we've seen LeVert 7 assists off the bench. Kenny Atkinson talked to us about how he's told Karis, hey, we just need quick decisions from you. He's like, Karis, he's so good with the ball in his hands, it's herky jerky style, but he's like, I told him I can't have 24 dribbles in the half court.
Well, you got to be efficient with it, no doubt. And that has been an area of growth. I mean, certainly you think about Karis LeVert's journey. He's gotten stronger.
Yeah.
He's played under more control. He's expanded his game. He's become, quite honestly, like a 6th starter for this team.
LeVert had a poke from behind, lost it. Isaac off the knockaway from Harris. Now Orlando can hold for a final shot. Jalen Suggs up to 21 points in this game. He has 13 in the quarter, looking for more. Can't find it. Also left a little too much time on the clock. Mobley gets it ahead. LeVert the three. No, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Cleveland a 17-point lead after three, looking to improve to 6-0.
This assist to the game, it's brought to you by State Farm. So right here, off of the Trae Young miss, Domantas Sabonis corrals the ball, full pass ahead to Malik Monk, who slams it down. Let's take one more look at that dime there from Sabonis, on time, on target. Sacramento up 18 in this one.
ESPN FC is
under 4 minutes left in that quarter. You called a timeout. What was the challenge to your team and how did they respond?
Yeah, we were fouling too much. Our shot selection was questionable, but we turned it around. Sam just hit that big three. It's a huge shot.
14 free throws that they shot in that quarter. You mentioned too much fouling, but defensively, what other adjustments do you want?
Yeah, well, they started to get after us. They really started pressuring us. Then they got out on the break, and we started fouling them on the break. So we got to take care of the ball on offense.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Well, to that point, 6 turnovers in that third from Cleveland as Isaac lays in the putback. But, Coach, every time Orlando's been able to nibble at that deficit, Cleveland's had an answer and pushed it back to 16, 17, 19. Whatever it might be, it's the minivan finds the free lane again.
And I think the thing that's most impressive is it's been different guys. Right, it's been different guys that have been answering these runs at multiple points in the ballgame.
Seen it from LeVert, seen it from Merrill, seen it from Jerome, Mitchell, Mosley, Garland. Wagner floats it in. Franz Wagner up to 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. All right, Ruco, Stephanie White, Angel Gray with you. Appreciate you hanging out with us on this Friday night. Minnesota, Denver coming up next on ESPN is Mitchell. Just the way it's so soft when it's out of his hands from all angles, right?
And so smooth, never rushed, always under control.
Here's Isaac, pull-up jumper. Jerome finds Niang, floats it to the corner. Okoro's three is good. Timeout Orlando. It's a 20-point Cleveland lead and a good start to the fourth.
Lead the league in three-point field goal percentage. Coach has preached spacing, spacing, spacing. When you have that, you can make them pay.
NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Kenny Atkinson has preached details, and one of those details is getting to the corners and spacing in transition. Opens up wide open looks, driving lanes, ability to push pace in transition. As Angel mentioned early in the ball game, for running for one to create opportunities for one another.
You love that unselfishness, and you love the way it's paying dividends. Okoro gets denied by Suggs. Okoro was looking for a foul, did not get it. Here's Suggs into the corner, Black's three. Back iron, no. Isaac the weak side board. Black throws it through the arms of Foster. And Orlando turns it over. 12th turnover for Orlando. A reminder, Denver, Minnesota coming up next on ESPN. Here's Jerome. Jerome pedaling through. Flips it out. Mobley. His jumper just short.
Oh, now we're seeing a step back jumper.
How about that?
I love it. And, you know, to be able to play through a guy like Evan Mobley, to have him empowered, to have more of an assertive role on the offensive end of the floor, it does get him to another level.
As Suggs flips it in plus the foul. Jalen Suggs up to 23 points. Well, and I think what's interesting about it, Steph, is it's not just in service of Mobley, right? It's in service of the team. That was Kenny Atkinson's whole thing. Hey, Darius, hey, Donovan, if we are going to be a championship team, this is our path. Accessing this growth from this player, and both backcourt mates have been completely on board, very much making sure they get Mobley those opportunities when they're on the floor.
You think about how unique his skill set is with his size, and now you see his ability to play in the open floor, to play on the perimeter, to be used as a facilitator. I mean, you just don't see that many guys with his size at 7 feet being able to play like that. I mean, certainly you think about Wemby, right? You think about Chet. You think about those type of guys. But to be a championship level team, they're going to need to continue to embrace that in Evan Mobley.
Giannis at that size.
Giannis, yes.
Meanwhile, that was number 5 on Mitchell, who remains on the floor for now. Here is Mobley spinning through traffic, gets the whistle. And will he get the shots here? They sign out of bounds. Now Garland will come and get Mitchell. Foul trouble has also taken the minutes tonight for Donovan Mitchell. 22 points in 22 minutes on 9 of 15 shooting. Garland with 21 points in 24 minutes. Cavs have also built such big leads in games this season that they've been able to give this rest. Mobley palming it off the window, just couldn't finish it. But again, you just like the versatility of takes here from Mobley. Suggs, and into 3. Thrown down the floor. Mobley has deflected out of bounds. Stays with Cleveland.
One of the other things that's so impressive when you've watched up until this point of the season for Cleveland is you don't get the sense that any one player feels the need to press. Right? They're very fluid in how they're moving the ball and who's getting shot opportunities, and no one player is having to create something from nothing.
Garland goes over back, trying to save that. Could not. And it will be Magic basketball, but the Cavs are trying to contest that. The ball had been tipped, never controlled, and so that should have been legal, and I think they are correct. Yeah, that's not... That should not be a backcourt violation. You know, if Garland wanted to, he could have just gone and grabbed it. He doesn't need to treat the backcourt as if it's something he has to avoid on that back tap off the rebound. And then he's midair when he touches it there, so he has not established control in the front court as he's coming back down in the backcourt. It's the right call. They get the ball back to Cleveland. Jerome, 2 to shoot. Ty Jerome fading and hit. Suggs the rebound. His 7th to go with 7 assists and 23 points. Here's Wagner. Wagner draws the crowd. Suggs his 3. He got it. Timeout Cleveland. 15-point Cavs lead. 7:39 to go in the 4th. Jalen Suggs up to 26 points.
Well, great job drawing multiple defenders. Suggs knocks it down for the Magic. See, he breathes a little sigh of relief, too.
In the Mitsubishi Good to Go spring sale.
Well, on this date in NBA history, November 1st, 1946, the first ever NBA game was played. The New York Knicks taking on the Toronto Huskies at Maple Leaf Gardens. Just over 7,000 fans in attendance. Ossie Schechtman of the Knicks scored the first basket in league history. New York went on to win 68-66. Tickets for this game sold for 75 cents, up to only $2.50. Something interesting about the first NBA game ever being played in Canada as well. Little trip down memory lane. Not neither of ours.
Not neither of ours.
Okoro banks it in.
Although I was enjoying your trip down memory lane as a Yankees fan.
Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, that fifth inning the other night, that's one that's just going to...
Yeah, you're going to stew about that for a long time, right?
That's one that is going to sting for a long time. Suggs floats it in. I mean, you know, Coach three self-inflicted mistakes.
I know. I hear you. And then fans getting involved.
Yeah, I mean, craziness.
It is.
Well, Jalen Suggs, a new career high, 28 points. This in his 182nd career game, his first this season without Paolo Banchero. Suggs, not that time. Banchero also has been a very durable player in his career. Three rattles in. Okoro makes it a 20-point game. Wagner gets hit hard by Allen, and Mo Wagner goes to the line. Just to button up that point, Banchero missed just 12 games combined his first 2 years. Orlando 4-8 those 12. This is going to be... Now, tonight was going to be a big test, whether he was playing or not. That's how good the Cavs have been to begin the season. This is going to be a real test for the Magic, and like you talked about, perhaps serves a purpose long-term for them, but we'll have to navigate in the short term in a tough Eastern Conference.
Well, and Paolo Banchero talking about he's never missed this amount of time before, right? So what has he learned from sitting on the bench, being in coaches' meetings now, potentially just seeing the game from a different perspective? And that is one thing that tends to happen to players who have injuries is they do, especially young players who played a lot of minutes early. You see it from a different perspective. Now you get to work on your leadership on the bench, or leading from the side, talking in huddles, all of the things that you're observing.
Into the corner. Okoro spinning through traffic. Finds Wade. Off on a three. Suggs collects the rebound. Whips it ahead. Wagner out to Suggs. Mo Wagner, the spin.
That's a hook.
Yeah.
Oh, they call the travel. Yes.
Wagner called for the steps and says, what? No. Just a spin. 13 turnovers apiece for the Cavs and the Magic. Allen hits the deck. Levert. Allen able to corral, finds Garland. And into three. Black skies for the rebound. Ahead, Franz Wagner serves it in beautifully with the right hand. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists for Franz Wagner. Garland with 23, Mitchell with 22 to lead the way for the Cavs. Garland, the floater, oh yeah. Garland up to 25. Lead is 18 for Cleveland. Wagner, nice spin, just couldn't finish the leg. Under 4.5 minutes to go. A game the Cavs have totally dominated. LeVert's three, short. Wave the O-board. Back out to LeVert. And to shoot. LeVert will fire. No. Knocked out of bounds. And it is Magic basketball. Coming up next, Anthony Edwards. Coming off a terrific season. He and the T-Wolves host the Nuggets. That's next on ESPN. We'll step aside. 4:08 to go in the fourth. Cavs by 18. Empty its bench. As you were saying, probably time to do so.
Probably time to do so. You think about the load that those guys are going to have to carry. Franz Wagner's still on the mend from an illness, limited him in the last 2 ball games.
Wagner out. Suggs out, the entire starting 5 out for Orlando, and now the entire starting 5 for Cleveland will sit as well.
They're checking in for Karis LeVert, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, and Donovan Mitchell.
Steph, when you are in camp, and you think, you know what, there might be something to this group. You might really have something here, as the Cavs felt. And then it gets reinforced with this kind of start. And how valuable is that to have at the foundation of what Cleveland's trying to do this year? This is a team that has championship hopes for this group.
I think it's so valuable, particularly for a new coach. You know, same core group and core group in the system, certainly, but a new coach and reiterating all of the things that are important to Coach Atkinson. The details, the spacing, the timing, the pace, while continuing to maintain the identity of being one of the premier defensive teams in the league. And to see guys that are buying into that, you know, playing heavily through another guy in Evan Mobley, right, buying into that, embracing that, wanting to have success and wanting to share success, and then it comes to fruition on the floor. I think it just reinforces when you do things the right way, when you play the right way, when you play together, good things can happen.
The Silva's 3 is good.
And look, there are going to be plenty of tests throughout the course of the season. It's a long season, it's early, there's no doubt about it. But to get a true feel, true sense, and to see the consistent rotations, the quality of depth.
You know, looking ahead to the Cavs schedule, and their next games, they have the Bucks tomorrow as Thompson flushes it down. Fan favorite here, key part of their 2016 title team. They have the Bucks on the second half of back-to-back tomorrow in Milwaukee, and then the Bucks again. But if you're Milwaukee and you're 1-4, you're like, this is the team I got to now face the next 2, the 6-0 Cavs who have everything humming.
And I know it's early, but if you're Milwaukee, you kind of feel back against the wall time too, right? Like this is we've got to come out and we've really got to get a win.
Especially you see the start Boston's gotten off to in the East. You know there's more contending teams in the East now than in years past. Indiana and the Knicks, in addition to the usual suspects, Cavs, Magic, Sixers, Bucks.
Yes.
Okoro goes down hard there, grabbing at the left leg a little bit. Number 2 for this Cavs team. They still don't have Max Strus.
Yes.
Max Strus would be starting, not Dean Wade, presumably. And Strus suffered a severe ankle sprain. He's 2 weeks into an injury that initially was supposed to cost him at least 6 weeks. So Kenny Atkinson has another potential asset to deploy at some point in the next month plus.
And that asset, another great three-point shooter who spaces the floor, who then allows Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley to create because of that spacing.
Last hits Okoro. Magic basketball. 118-98. Cleveland in front of Orlando. 2:10 to go in this fourth. Here's Howard, his 3, short. Rebound knocked out of bounds off of Jerome. It'll stay with the Magic. .203 to go. In a game that hasn't exactly had rhythm.
Had some rhythm in the first half.
Yeah, Orlando's been trying to figure it out without Paolo Banchero. Trying to slow it down with physicality against Cleveland. Also 2 very good defensive teams as Joseph rattles into 3. Orlando a season ago was 3rd in defensive rating. This year 4th thus far. Avs a season ago 7th. This year 3rd thus far. Cleveland and Golden State, the only teams top 5 in offense and defense to begin this year. Jerome gives it up. 3 to shoot. Okoro a deep one. Off the mark.
I thought he should have taken the first one. A more in rhythm shot.
Invited a tougher attempt. Reminder, Jokic against Ant, Denver, Minnesota rematch of their second round series coming up next. Nice spin in there from De Silva, who's had some nice moments tonight. Important for Orlando because he, depending on what's going on with Wendell Carter Jr., not playing today with knee tendonitis, De Silva could be getting some minutes moving forward. Thompson again, pushes it down. Howard's 3, smooth.
Again, certainly not the outcome that you want, but if you're Orlando, you're starting to continue to build young talent, getting opportunities in rotation that they might not have gotten before. And you run into a buzzsaw in the Cavs.
Anticipation for this game, too, the rematch after a riveting 7-game series a season ago in the first round. But no Paolo Banchero. Orlando navigating their first game this season without him. It's going to be an extended stretch. Silva still playing hard. Banks inside, gets denied by Travers on the block. Oh yeah, good look at that stash. Right up close. About a 7-second difference game in shot clock. Howard jittering, draws 2. Extra feed, Anthony one more, nice possession there. That 3 won't go. 10 seconds remaining. De Silva gets the bucket of the foul. And De Silva, a chance for 3. Up to 16 points in 20 minutes for Tristan De Silva. For the Cavs tonight, Donovan Mitchell, 22 points in 22 minutes. Darius Garland, 25 points in 29 minutes. LeVert, 13 off the bench to go with 7 assists. 9 apiece from Okoro and Jerome off the bench. Mobley with 14 and 12. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are 6-0. 120-109 the final. First 6-0 start without LeBron James since the 76-77 season. That's going to do it from Cleveland. Our final score, the Cavs 120, the Magic 109. For our producer, Josh Careswell, our director, Mike Schwab, the new head coach of the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White, Angel Gray, and our entire crew. I'm Ryan Rucco saying thanks for watching. We'll send it back to the studio with Malika Andrews and the Countdown crew right after this short break.